All right, so shalom, shalom. Welcome back. This is a man called Gavar, and we're talking about who do you serve? And we left off talking about the second big lie that our government is trying to sell us, our loving United States government, which is a corporation we just talked about. What is the second lie they try to? Well, the lie they try to sell us is that money is credit, and credit is money. But let's define those terms and review a couple quotes I put in my first presentation. Money. In usual and ordinary acceptation, it means gold, silver, or circulating currency backed by gold and silver, i.e., silver or gold certificates, forms a medium of exchange which has value, and it does not embrace notes, bonds, evidences of debt, or other personal or real estate. And that's from Black's Law Dictionary. So take out your wallet, brothers, sisters, and pull out a Federal Reserve note, and I'll ask you the question, is that money? We just said here it does not embrace notes. So if it does not embrace notes, then what you have in your wallet is not money. What is it? Well, it's credit. We talked about that a little bit in my first video. If you haven't watched that, you should pause this video and go back and watch that because we talk about that in great detail. Credit, money. We talked about fountain pen money. Credit is what we operate under now. And those Federal Reserve notes are a form, not the only form, but a form of credit that is now available to you as an American. So you have the option of generating your own credit, or if you prefer, sorry, I got a fly lying around me here, annoying me. Keeps landing on my hand and on my nose. Annoying. Anyway, credit money is what we have now. And again, you have the option of using either their credit money, Federal Reserve note, or, believe it or not, and I'll talk about this in other videos, not today, we have the authority, since we are the source of all the credit. I talked about that in video number 1. Again, go back and watch it. If you haven't watched it, you're going to miss out on this. You're not going to understand. They leveraged our estates and create fountain pen money, or credit. And credit is defined as time allowed to the buyer of goods by the seller in which to make payment for them, or the ability to defer payment. That's all credit is. It doesn't have any value. It's just simply a device by which you are given the ability to defer payment. Think about that, brothers and sisters. You're working for credit. You're serving the United States corporation because that's the granddaddy of corporations. All the other ones are underneath that. They're all operating under charter of Congress as a corporation under 28 U.S.C. 3002 United States. And all it has to offer you is credit. It's not a mighty one that has any abundance. It has no wealth. All it has to offer you is credit. And that credit is generated off of your property. So it's a total scam. Are you beginning to see how you're enslaved by your ignorance, by you just not knowing? And I didn't know for a long time, most of my life. I didn't know this. But basically, you have the authority as an American, as a owner of a authenticated certificate of live birth, long form, which you need to get if you don't have one. That is the evidence that you are due and owed something. And that something you are owed is credit. It's really what it's called is equitable interest recovery, but it can also be called credit. The ability to defer payment. Everything out there can be yours with the ability to defer paying for it under the existing laws of the banking system in America. And I remind you, we talked about this in video 1, gold and silver coin are money, everything else is credit. And again, the ancient maxim, gold is the money of kings, silver the money of gentlemen, barter is the currency of peasants, and credit is the currency of slaves. So the choice is yours, my brother and sister. Um, I can get in great detail over this, and I do with my clients, so you should sign up to become a client. More on that in a minute. But real simple today, because I got 10 minutes to wrap this up, and I want to try to get it done in this section. The Public Charitable Trust was established in 1861. That was the first step. Once they did that, they began putting all the property in that trust. After the bankruptcy in 29, so-called private ownership was made possible only by virtue of government permission. They allowed you use, or usufruct. I believe that Yahuwah has allowed this to happen due to our Torahlessness, our wickedness, our lawlessness. Like a child, he has taken our toys away, and the only way to get them back is to grow up and prove that you are trustworthy and honorable. You can't be greedy. You don't need 5 cars. You don't need a mansion. You just need what you need, and I'll show you how to get it. And Teddy Roosevelt famously said at the Jamestown expedition in 1907 that you can either govern yourself or, rest assured, you will be governed. And that's all that's happening right now, America, brother, sister. We're being governed because we're acting like children. You need to grow up, become an attorney in fact, and I'll teach you how. Take control of your estate through your vessel, and you can have all the things you want, all the things you need, and you don't have to work for them. So in a way, this is an example of good coming forth from evil, because due to greed, capricious, corrupt rulers, politicians and lawyers, and unscrupulous bankers have created the perfect control system. They did it legally, by law. But if you know the law and you can apply the statutory remedy, you can literally live without having to work for a living. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. That is my new ministry. It's been said the reason we are debt and we're in debt up to our necks is because we all work for a living. And that's really true. Because when you work for a living, brother and sister, instead of creating your own credit, and you take the credit of the government through Federal Reserve notes, you are actually building and creating that debt. That 35,000 trillion, some of that is you working for a living. And so by working for a living, you're actually creating debt, which will be left to your children and to their children. And if you can sleep with yourself at night knowing you're doing that, then have at it. But as a believer, I just can't do that anymore. And I'd ask you to pray about whether or not you think you should do that anymore. The solution is to reacquire control of your estate, partake of the trust assets which were put in trust because we've been bad children, become a trust fund baby, and now you have unlimited credit due to you on your account in the form of what they call in law, in their remedy, equitable interest recovery. So what do you need to get there? Well, you need an attorney in fact. That's what you need. I happen to know one actually. And I'm going to close in a few frames with this flyer, which I put together. But some of the services I'll offer you are in primarily equity interest recovery. I want to teach the body to reclaim their estate and empower you to be able to keep the first and greatest commandment, to love and to serve Yahuwah your Elohim with all your might, all your being, and all your strength. And the only way you can do that is to no longer have to work a job. So all these other services are kind of a stepping stone to get there, but the primary service I offer is right there, equity, interest, recovery. I'm going to teach you how to reclaim your estate, quite simply put. That's what I'm going to do. And there's my contact information, how you can reach out to me, lonewolflaw@proton.me, or my phone number, and Zelle through the phone number is 520-686-2604. And there's a free way and there's a fee way to get this done, brothers and sisters. So we get through this in 5 minutes. Everything I've shared with you today is available for you for free on the internet. You can find it yourself. Everything I've talked about is there. But these topics have been a topic of study of mine for 15 years, and I have many mentors. All the resources and reading and studying I'll make available to you through lists on my YouTube channel in the description box. All those videos on my YouTube channel are free. Watch them as many times as you want. And I will continue to produce these videos as the Spirit guides and as time permits. Again, mentors in the box. My time, however, is not free. I feel 15 years of study of this material, I have a right to charge a modest fee for my time. Some of my mentors charge $500 an hour. I don't think that that's proper. But I do think there's a value associated. If you don't think you're investing something in something, you won't value it. So it's more for your sake than it is for my sake that I have to charge something. I'd prefer to charge in gold and silver coin, but I realize most people don't have that. It's out of circulation. So my right as a self-governing sovereign is to work for true money, but I'm aware of the fact that if my goals are to elevate my students to my level of understanding, I have to meet them where they are and allow them the option of payment in fiat. So I do that. I personally can't think of a better way to redeem your money, redeem what you think is money, than to pursue the avenue I'm allowing you to pursue, which will forever allow you to cease depending on them. I'm glad to be able to offer that to my clients. As a bare minimum, even if you were to use the free resources that I offer on my YouTube channel, you must still pay attention. In other words, there's no such thing as a free lunch. This acquired knowledge has cost me dearly, and I'm only now beginning to recover from being a targeted individual while I was on New Mexico. I had a false arrest, and as a result of that, they got my biometrics, and I've been literally targeted. There are times when my head is on fire because they're targeting me. So I'm going to seek to empower my family of faith through this knowledge, and I'll seek to only have students that share my faith, but that may not always be possible. How your fees are spent in closing. Expenses on claims, remedy, papers, ribbons, postage, certified mail, non-food lodging expenses incurred in the pursuit of the remedy, to visit with you. Hopefully I'll be able to spend some time with you. Attire. You got to dress up to go up. And I've been living the last several years like a pauper farmer. I need new shoes and a wardrobe to play the role of attorney in fact and to go out there and look spiffy in court and plea on my behalf and eventually be in court with you to offer you counseling and training while you're going forth getting your remedy. I call this Warrior in Training program, and this is where the money will go. Office setup costs, including marketing. I also will intend to hire an assistant at some point, I hope. I want to get the message out to the whole body of Messiah. That'll be my focus, but time is short. The window's closing, I believe. A couple typos here, I apologize, but we'll get through it. I'm anxious to get busy, so please pray about how you can support this ministry that I'm launching, Lone Wolf Law. Become a client. Right now I'm offering $99 consults. That rate will go up as demand increases, so book your time now. Again, there is the flyer. You can do a screenshot of that, and I'll close up with this last frame. Closing remarks. This is my new profession. This is my new career. I hope to seek. Oh, sorry. Let me move my. Oh goodness. Let me move that out of the way, so you can get a screenshot of the flyer. With my phone number and Zelle down there on the bottom corner. Again, 520-686-2604, or you can reach out. Actually, do both. If you send me a consult fee on Zelle, please email me. Let me know who you are through lonewolflaw@proton.me. I look forward to meeting with you, crafting up a personally designed program to get you up to snuff as quickly as possible, because I cannot represent you. I am not an attorney at law. I'm an attorney in fact. So my job is to get you to where you can present yourself. And that's my goal. So again, closing, man called Gavar, reach out. There's the way to do it. Shalom, shalom.